Today is my birthday, and for the first time in years, I genuinely feel a spark of happiness. Lena, my wife, told me a week ago that she wanted to make it memorable. That word struck me because she's never been the type to organize anything significant for me. Usually, I'm the one recording dates, reserving restaurants, or selecting gifts she'd adore. So when she declared she was hosting a gathering at our home, I was stunned. She'd even decorated, sapphire and amber ribbons dangling from the ceiling, balloons fastened to the chairs, the whole setup. She'd invited friends, a few of my colleagues, even her supervisor Marcus, whom I'd barely met. The house was packed, humming with chatter and music, and I couldn't help but wonder, is this a new beginning? After all this time of me holding us together, maybe she's finally recognizing me. Not just the bill payer or the handyman, but me, her partner. For a moment, I let myself believe I wasn't overlooked anymore. The evening progressed, and I began to unwind. Guests were chuckling, tinking glasses, sharing anecdotes. I was mid-conversation with my buddy Jake from the office when Lena clapped her hands, commanding the room's attention. "Cake time," she announced, her voice lively. She vanished into the kitchen, and I felt a surge of anticipation. A cake, for me. She'd never baked anything in our entire marriage, so this felt monumental. She returned, lifting it triumphantly, a broad grin on her face. Everyone pulled out their phones to capture the moment. I bent forward, ready to extinguish the candles. Then I saw it. The frosting, in thick, glaring letters read, "Congrats, failure." The crowd exploded with laughter. Her friends buckled over, gripping their stomachs. Marcus choked on his drink. Even Lena was beaming, as if she'd just delivered the pinnacle of comedy. I stiffened, staring at the words. Humiliation burned up my throat. This wasn't a shared gag. It was a blow, and I was the butt of it. I didn't laugh. Didn't even flinch. The noise around me turned muffled, like I was submerged, observing their jeers from afar. My chest ached, but I kept my composure. Instead, I pushed back my chair and stood, slow, intentional. The room hushed slightly, eyes locking onto me, anticipating my response. I lifted my glass, the one I'd been sipping from all night, and raised it. A toast, I said, my voice firm, clearer than I felt. They leaned in, some still smirking, others uneasy. "Thank you all for being exactly who I always knew you were." I let the words linger. A few grins dropped. To this party, so much effort put into it. I'll cherish it forever. Lena's smug expression faltered. Her eyes sharpened, like she was deciphering my sincerity. I continued, "I look forward to the future, because now I know exactly how to treat you the way you've treated me." I held their stares a heartbeat longer, then set the glass down with a soft chime. The air turned heavy, awkward, but I didn't care. I turned and marched out, past the ribbons, past the half-finished appetizers, out the door and into the darkness. No one followed. The cold breeze brushed my face as I stepped outside, my hands trembling, not from the chill, but rage. And something else, realization. I'd wasted years striving to be enough for her, for them. And in one cruel, frosted joke, she'd show me the truth. A failure. That's all I was to her. To everyone. I slid into my car, the engine roaring to life. I sat there, gazing at the house, seeing it clearly for the first time. The house I call home for a decade glows behind me, its windows alive with shifting shadows. They're probably laughing again by now, brushing off, assuring each other I'll come crawling back. But not this time. My tires crush gravel. As I pull away, driving nowhere, just away. I don't know what comes next, but I know this much. I'm done being their punchline, done swallowing their cruelty with a smile. Whatever happens now, it'll be on my terms. For once, I'm not the background noise they tune out. I'm the one leaving, and they're the ones who'll have to live with what that means. Looking back, I shouldn't have been surprised by Lena's little performance. That cake, those jagged words and frosting, they landed like a slap, but if I'm honest, it wasn't the first time she'd swung at me. Lena's always had a talent for carving you up and calling it a joke. Early on, I mistook her for charm, her razor wit, her confidence. She'd jab at me in front of her friends, tossing out lines like, "Oh, he's not the ambitious type," or "At least he's reliable," with a smirk that made my stomach knot. I'd laugh it off back then, telling myself it was just her way. I'd sit through those dinners, grinning like an idiot, thinking if I proved I could take it, she'd finally see my worth. But the years piled up, and so did the cuts. Eventually, I realized they weren't jokes at all. They were truths, slipping out between her silk dresses and wine-fueled laughter. And me, I took it, like some loyal dog, tail wagging for scraps of approval. I spent our whole marriage being the steady one, the guy who didn't rock the boat. When we met, Lena was a force of nature, beautiful, loud, packed with ambition. I loved that about her. I thought my role was to help her soar. So I cooked dinners while she burned the midnight oil, scrubbed our apartment after whirlwind mornings, worked double shifts at my dead-end job to pay for her fashion degree. When she graduated, I clapped the loudest. When she wanted a house, I scrimped and signed the papers, turning it into a home. I thought that's what love was, building a stage for her to shine. Somewhere along the way, I became furniture, the couch you sink into every night, but never really see. Her thanks were fleeting, a distracted, "Thanks, babe," over her shoulder before she vanished into her world, her friends, her next big thing. I was a stagehand, invisible but essential, keeping the lights on so she could play the star. It didn't hit me how small I'd become until that damn cake. Congrats, loser. The blue icing, the roaring laughter, Lena's grin like she just won something. It's etched into my skull. I replayed 100 times, and each time, the burn in my chest isn't just anger. It's shame. Shame for believing that if I kept giving, she'd finally see me as more than useful. But she didn't. To her, I was the punchline, the reliable loser who'd stick around no matter how she twisted the knife. And the worst part? She was right. Until that night. Until I set down my glass and walked out. Now, as the road unfurls in front of me, one question throbs louder than the engine. How did I let it get this bad? The signs were there. The forgotten birthdays. The eye rolls when I spoke. The way she'd light up for everyone but me. I just didn't want to see it.